Hey everyone who's been a part of my hairstyle journey. Over on YouTube, I showed the whole process of how I took the curly wig that you saw in my profile and still see in my profile picture. I have now changed it to this beautiful braided wig because I couldn't find another one like the one in the profile picture. It was a journey. And so, after even buying one from England, just to get you caught up, ordered one from England. And when it came in the mail, I was like, oh, come on. This is not what I ordered. Number one, they said it was human hair. That was a lie. Number two, they claimed that was silver. That was a lie. And it didn't do anything that I wanted it to. So I was forced to braid it. And this is what I came up with. I love it. I absolutely love it. But now it's time for it to go through yet another change. See what it looks like? It's really kind of cool. All right. I really like the way it turned out. I'm very happy with it. See how the back looks and all of that. It really turned out really nice. Exceeded my expectations. So now today is going to go through yet another change. It's going to metamorph. It's going to morph into something quite different. A lot of you have been questioning my eyes. They're too puffy or whatever. Anyway, it kind of runs in the family. And as you get older, ladies, and you guys too, this is going to happen to most of us. But you see, my eyes look somewhat Asian. That is because somewhere in the bloodline, Ling Wong is hanging out. So today I'm augmenting the Ling Wong in me. If you notice, I've got this strange looking thing. This is actually a metal rod from Home Depot. But I'm going to be using it. You know how things have a different purpose? Well, this one has a different purpose. I'm going to be using this as a curling rod. So I've got a hot plate in front of me. And I'm figuring out, I like the Betty Page type of bang. But see, I can do a lot of things with this. I can flip it back and over like this. And it looks really good. I like it back like this. I can wear my hair back like this and it's okay. Everybody doesn't look good with the same style that all of you are wearing. Some people want to wear their hair parted in the middle. Okay? Parted in the middle looks good on some people. But not everybody looks good with their hair parted in the middle. A lot of you are only doing it because somebody else is doing it. And you are following what they're doing. It doesn't necessarily look good on you, though. So take time, get in the mirror, play with hair, even if it's a wig that you're wearing, and just move it other ways. You don't have to wear it the way you bought it. Turn it around. Back in the 60s, a lot of these singers, like Diana Ross and the Supremes, Martha and the Vandellas, I can go on with my list, but then I'm giving away age at the same time. And age is not a bad thing. It can be a great thing. It depends on how you see it. So anyway, they used to turn the wigs around to make them poof out and bigger. All right? So once one started doing it, they all caught on and everybody was doing it. Okay, and then, this, you're always going to have a fray hair. It's not going to act right. So you put it to where it acts right. But it can throw the look off. But anyway, I'm going to now be curling some of this. And I'm also going to probably make bangs too. So we're going to take just a little bit to see how it turns out. I've got the rod somewhat warm. I'm going to take it and wrap it around the hair and bring the hair up just a little bit, so it holds. I don't even think it's hot enough, but it might be. Let's see what we get. Nope, it's not warm enough. So you gotta let it get warm enough. So I'm gonna turn this up. Heat it up just a little more. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for it to get warm, you see I could wear it back like this. And it really does look like it's growing out of my scalp. I love it. I get compliments on it quite a bit. A lot of ladies are like, oh, your hair is beautiful. I just say thank you. Because I think I read somewhere that the person probably knows it's a wig, but they're probably complimenting you because it looks really good on you. So there's no need to explain what it is. Just take the compliment, and as you get older, they become fewer anyway. So you appreciate the compliments even more. And I feel it's getting a little bit warmer now. Let's try a smaller piece, just to kind of see where it's gonna go. And this is just a rod that I bought for like $2 at Home Depot, which is one of my favorite places. Because believe it or not, a lot of things they have in there, you can use it for something else. Okay, so I'm curling this a little bit more. It's warmer, but I don't know if it's really warm enough. But I think it probably is just a little bit warmer. See? Beautiful curl. Now I think I want to make it a ringlet curl. At some point, I'm going to take the time out to curl this thing. Maybe I'll just make it ringlet curls all around. I'm not sure. I kind of like it straight though. Or with just a little body. And see, this just gave it a little bit, not much. I don't want to make it too warm because then we will have to worry about the hair melting. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to wrap it around a little bit more just so you all can see that this can be used. You only want one end to be hot. The other end, you see I'm holding it and I haven't wrapped anything around it. If the whole entire thing was hot, then I would have to use like a cloth or something to keep my hands from burning. But we'll see what we've got now. And we'll just undo it slowly. See? Now you could do this with your own hair too. Just be careful of the amount of heat. But that's kind of nice. I could go all the way around with it, but I'm not. So I just wanted to show you, that's one thing you can do with it. And then another thing, let's see, we're just going to take the problem one that won't stay over. Now watch, it'll stay over because I don't want it to. So we'll take another one. And we're going to simply curl it like a spiral curl. Like that. And it didn't work. Not the way I wanted it to. But you kind of get the idea. And you can do this with human hair as well. So today, though, I'm going to be making bangs. I'm tired of it being in my face. I don't want it all back, looking like, what's her name from Shrek? So I'm going to take some of this out and make it into bangs, because I've been wearing it back and all these things. So you see, if I wear it in bangs, the Asian part of me really shows up. So it's going to be just about that amount of hair that I'm going to be curling. And once I get it where I want it, then I'm going to snip it. So this is the hair that's going to be cut and made into bangs. All right, so I will start with the first layer going across. Now mind you, I have not done this before. So this is a journey where you're finding out as I find out. All right, so I'm going to take this. I just had this idea that it would work, That's about it. And then I execute, and if it doesn't work, I just go back to the drawing board, because I'm really kind of like a scientist in a lot of ways. I'm always looking for new discovery and trying things outside of the box. All right, so we got about this much. We're starting at the front. And if I don't like the way it turns out, the safe part about this is I can always take the braids out and redo them. So I'm not committed. So I'm not trying to braid the whole thing. I'm just trying to curl it and give it some body at the top. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm sealing this so that when I cut it, it doesn't fray. So that's all I'm doing, is sealing it so it doesn't fray. And I'm going to turn this up a little bit more because it's still not giving me the heat that I'm looking for. And I don't want to burn the hair. But I need it to stand out a little bit. You see how it's standing out just a little bit from my face. And these are falling flat to my face. And the whole thing is I want them standing out a little bit. Okay, so this should be a little warmer now. I can hear it. That's it. I hear it searing just a little bit. You see? And it's hanging out away from the face as opposed to right up on it. And this is going to happen for all of it. It's just a little bit. See how it's flat? See how that's not? And that's what I want. I want it away from my face. You know, some of these wigs, they have bangs on them. But the bangs are way flat. They're real, real flat. That's not what I want. I want more of a Betty Page type of look. You see how that falls away from the face? It's not flat on the face, you see? It falls away from the face. Now I go to the next set of 3. I'll just do 3 at a time. And you see it's a little warmer. And now we'll take it off. See, it's falling with a little bit of poof to it. Not so flat. I don't want it flat. I want it to have the poof. See, it even looks good going backwards like this. I can wear it like that too. You know, I might not do the bangs. I might just do it so that it poofs out slightly so I can wear it backwards. I kind of like it backwards like this. And it's just such a great wig. The cap itself is really great. But I did notice that some of the braids changed color. I'm like, I don't know. But I can always take it out and redo it. All right. Real tight to the scalp almost. Okay. Oops. There we go. It's away from my face. Now we do another 3. Some of these are a little bit thicker than what I had wanted, but that was in the beginning, on the onset of me making a decision to braid. So I didn't know what size I wanted them to be, but I wanted them to be this thin. So these are thicker than that. And like I say, if I don't like the way it looks, I'll just rebraid it. Because the wig really works for what I need. So we just hold it. It actually looks pretty good back. All right. There we go. See how it's sticking out from my face, which is exactly what I want. Applying heat seemed to soften it, because I'm not a fan of Kanekalon, but that seems to be all that's on the market now. So you don't have those choices like we used to have in terms of the fibers that are used to make these. But the one thing I did like about using the wig over again was, one, it fit my head. So the cap itself fits my head. Because remember, I have locks that are about this long. And I'm able to put it under the wig comfortably without it hurting and giving me a headache. So here we go. Okay, and then unwrap it carefully. See, I'm getting it to fall away from my face and not all up on it. So we're going to keep going with this until we get that all done. And then I will do a cut. But I kind of like it being able to go backwards. I haven't worn it like this yet. Wearing it like this could be a lot of fun too. Because everywhere I go, people are like, wow, your hair looks really nice like that. I really want to tell them, oh, it's a wig. And some I do, because I'm having fun with it. Some I tell the truth. I'm like, look, this is hair. This hair is a wig that I braided. And then I send them over to YouTube to find out about it. But now I'm also, let's see. So that looks like it's staying out of my face. Maybe I just needed to do this to it anyway. So I go up close and I slowly take it out. One thing I like about this rod is it has grips in it. It's a tie rod for using in concrete. Like I told you, you can go to Home Depot and get things that have other uses. Well, that's what it's really originally used for. It's a tie rod for pouring concrete. It's a reinforcement bar for concrete. Then they call it rebar or tie bar or something like that. But I just found it to be really good for hair. And one day I'm going to teach you all, which I'm not supposed to do it, so don't tell anybody. I'm going to teach you all how to put in sister locks. It is the best thing for black women's hair. And they say, oh, well, you can't curl it, don't flat. I curl it, flat iron, everything. Because it's grown out of whose head? Mine. And I can do what I want to do with it. They say, oh, no, keep it natural. Well, I don't want to always be natural. Or take some, back in the day, you used to wet hair and do what they call rag curls. Well, it was natural. No, there was no heat applied. It was just some water, and you wrap your hair around with rags until it took shape of a curl, and then you took it out. Oh, we could say the same thing. All right, that's the first row is done. I'll braid it up lightly so I don't get it confused. And now I'm going to do the rest of it. I gotta wait and let the rod get a little hotter though. It's not hot enough. But we're coming up on it. Well, like I say, Ling Wong is in the house somewhere. So I'm going to be doing a DNA test through a different company. And I'll find out just where Ling Wong showed up. But Ling Wong was in the house. because we all have the same eyes. Matter of fact, when I saw Tiger Woods, I said he just looks like another McInnes. There's so many of us that have the same eyes. I was like, he just looks like another one of us. That's all. And then to find out that he called himself Cabarasian, I was just like, no way. He really does have some of that Asian blood, just like we do. But his is more traceable because his mom was, I think, is Cambodian. So, yeah, but yeah, I've gone to Atlantic City once. I'll never forget. I was at a table with a large group of Asian people. And when they left, the dealer asked me, is your family coming back? I said, I'm not even with them. He said, you're kidding me. So it shows up for sure. And doesn't this look like it's my hair? Like I'm really curling my hair. Well, figuratively, it is, because I bought it. But no, folks, it's not growing out of my scalp, and this is not the way it looked when I purchased it. You see how that's coming out? It's sticking out up and away from my face. So it takes on a better shape, I think. Okay, here we are with a few more, and then that's it. Maybe I should have sectioned them off or clipped them or something. Because you know how it is. Just when you think you got your style right, here comes a hair that doesn't belong there, that wants to be all up in it. So let me take them out now. So that should be about it. This group right here, and that's it. And I'm going to twirl them so that they are not mixed up with everything else. But that came out like I'm looking for it to be. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to remove this very slowly. Okay. See? It's got a lot more body to it by doing that, curling it at the root. Right, here we go. Have you all heard about this new thing? Or maybe it's not new and I'm just finding out about it because I've been out of the hair braiding, hair weaving business for many, 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 many years. By the way, it's very profitable. I was able to buy rental property with hair braiding when I lived in Virginia. I braided so many people's heads that they would go to the wrong address and people would still tell them where to come. And I didn't have the first business card. Because in the state of Virginia, you're not allowed to even braid hair, which you know is a black tradition from God knows when. You're not allowed to do it without a license in the state of Virginia. At least at that time, you couldn't. Maybe now they've changed. But back then, no. You were not to do any of it without a license. I was teaching it at a community center. Anybody familiar with the Doris Miller Community Center? At that time, the director's name was Andrew Shannon. And he found out about me and all of my skills. And he asked me would I come to the Doris Miller Community Center and teach hair braiding. And I did. I had a couple that owned a hair salon, but the husband didn't know the first thing about hair braiding. I taught him how to braid, the technique of braiding first, and then he learned how to do extensions. And I had the new local newspaper came in and did an article on me. And one of my students, her name was Belinda, She was my model that day. And so the local newspaper called the Daily Press did this whole article on me hair braiding. And they saw Belinda in the picture. So, no, Belinda was a client of mine. And so she's in the photo. And, you know, what I'm talking about is what was written. And one of the local beauty schools got upset and complained to the Virginia State Board of Licensing about me teaching hair braiding without a license. Well, they came to visit me on the most unusual of days, Martin Luther King's birthday, which I was like, oh, you got to be kidding. On this day of all days, you want to come visit me about this. He told me that I was not allowed to teach hair braiding because I did not have a cosmetology teaching license. So I had to have a cosmetology license, and then on top of that, a teaching license in order to teach people how to braid hair. So I had to cease or, be threatened with a fine or jail time. I was like, wow. Something that we've been doing in households for centuries now has to have accreditation. Okay, I'll stop. So I had to stop teaching hair braiding at the school. But what this did was, that's at the school. You just can't come into my house. So I never had a business card, and that was the reason why. So now that but I made a lot of people happy. I did a lot of hair. And my daughter used to set my appointments, and she got paid for doing so. So it was a great family business. All right, I've kind of curled it to where I wanted it. It's sticking out. I can tell the difference between this and the other pieces. So now I'm going to do the next thing. This is going to get snipped. I have my scissors right here. And now I'm going to snip where I want it to be. I don't like bangs down in my face like that. I like them short. See? Lane Wong is showing up. It's a little short and a little stubby, and it's sticking out a little bit too much, but that's okay. I'll take care of that. And what I'll do is later on, I'll put a cloth or something, to tighten it up. But you see, that's the beginning. See? And then I'll just go to the next row, whatever that is, and I will curl it tight and bring it to where I want it to be, like that, and then pull it. And then take it out. All right, see that? And then take my scissors. I need to have my scissors where I can get to them and snip. And I'll just keep doing this process until I get it the way I want it. And like I say, if I don't like this and I want the long bangs back or long braids back, it's no commitment. I'll just go by the hair and redo it. So this is where I want it to kind of end. All right. Oops. And I just snip. Next group. So I'm just dealing with what's coming out in my hand. All right. And now I'm getting ready to bring it to where I want it. And hold it for a minute. This way I'm giving it time to mold it. Okay. That was a really good one. See? And once I take the band and put it across, then all of this is going to give me what I want. See? I know when I go to certain parts of LA, Koreatown is the largest Asian community. It is not Chinatown, it's Koreatown. But anyway, anywhere I go in those places, they sometimes give me a double take, like, maybe, maybe not. They're not sure. And we laugh. And I go, maybe. But you see how this is now taking the shape? It's coming out the way I want it. Pull it out. And twirl it. And give it a little bit more time. But you see how it's looking. I like it. Now there was another way I could have done it. I could have put it in hot water and did it that way. See, it's sticking out right now, but it will, like I say, it will take the shape. And the rod only cost me, I think with tax, less than $3. And it depends on where you live. The tax might be like 4%. I think it was like $2.50 or something like that. It wasn't very, very expensive for this. And I'm using a hot plate instead of flame, because I think flame would have made it too hot too fast, and it would have been too hot for me to handle. But if you notice, the ends are not opening up, they're not fraying. You see? It seals it without all the danger of hot heat. See how that falls? Real nice. And I can cut it even shorter. See? And it poofs up a little bit so it's not so flat. Like I got a flat head or something. And here we go with the last ones that are going, oh, maybe I just leave them like that. Nope, they're in my face. The whole idea is not to have any of this in my face. This is hot. Meaning I'm hot. I'm sweating. All right, so there we go with this. And I'm going to snip it. All right. I think we're pretty much done with the rough cut. And then I'll fine tune it, because I really want the bangs to be shorter. So you see, I've got the basic. It's not in my face. When I'm moving my head forward, I don't have to worry about it coming in my face. And this was an issue. One day, I just wanted to take the whole daggone thing off. So I'm like, this is getting in my face. The braids were not holding. I had it tied back and that wasn't holding right. It was looking puffy in the back. It looked stupid. So I was like, either I cut the bangs or I'm gonna have to stop wearing it. And right now, like I said about compliments, I'm getting too many of them. I'm gonna hate to give this up when it gets hot. Because when it gets hot, all this comes off. I cannot be walking around hitting my head and all that kind of stuff, because I'm not trying to, rattle my brains any more than what they already are. Okay. And I got tired of wearing like Fiona. That's her name. Fiona from Shrek. This wasn't working. I had this Fiona from Shrek look for a minute because I just could not get the braids to act right. And then I found a solution for that too. Okay. Now, Ling Wong is definitely in the house. And since this is a celebration of Asian Pacific Islanders, I fit right in. So, now what I will do is, now that this is warmer, I'll just go back and curl it tight. Oof. My rod is starting to get hot, so I'm going to have to use a towel on the end. There we go. It's starting to take the shape I want. Okay. I'm going to step away for just 1 second. Okay, see, I told you just 1 second. Wasn't even a whole second. But I'm having to wrap something around the end because it's getting a little warm. There's a song, too hot to handle or something like that. And this definitely was becoming too hot to handle. But you see, it's starting to take that shape I'm talking about. See? See? Now that really has the shape I want. See how that's starting to take shape? So now when I wear it back like this, see how that looks? Of course, these want to be stubborn, but I can fix them today too and give them some shape. But see how this is starting to look like what I want. A little puffy at the top and then coming down. See? See how that looks? Now you can do this. I would prefer, if you're going to do this at home and you don't have a hot plate, if you have an electric stove, it's basically the same thing. But a gas stove is going to heat faster and it's going to be hotter and it will probably melt it. And you're not going to be happy with that. So these bangs don't have to be perfect. But you see how they're conforming to my face. They're not flat. They're not flat at all. And if I want to flip up the ends, which I think flipped up ends, this would be really cute. But right now, we're just going to deal with the bangs. And even the ones that are kind of short, I'm going to add just a little curve to them. That's it. Just a little bit. You see how that blends right on in. And then we got these right here that need just a little bit of curl. Just a little bit. Okay? And then we do a little bit more. And then we're going to curl these just a little bit. Right? And then I'm going to do these. It's just at the ends, just a little bit. And just lay that on there like that. There we go. There we go. And this one might be a little long, so I might have to actually go back and cut that one and the ones next to it. These might be a little bit longer, but I think they're probably going to be okay if I tighten them up at the beginning. Here we go. See? It didn't require it. And I'll just cut those right there. And that's it. See? And I think I could even do this without having to cut them. See? That came out pretty nice. I didn't have to cut it. And I'll do the other one right here. And then we're finished. I'm finished. See? I love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. You need to try this, people. Before you throw those wigs away and add to the already problem we have of waste, let's recycle. Take some patience. Or if you don't have the patience, take your wig to a braid stylist and have them braid it. You don't have to sit there or nothing. Right? They could put bigger braids, because I'm sure it's going to be costly if you go with small braids like mine, these are like micro, most of them are micro braids. So it's going to be expensive. But look, you just do it that one time and you never have to sit in a chair ever again. Right? Just let them do it. Take this to them, or any wig you have. Just take them, and if you don't have the patience, like I say, and we live in a non-patient world, just take them somewhere and have somebody else do it. But this Brazilian knot thing, that's what I was talking about. The Brazilian knot thing, I think I got it. I think I understand it, and I think I could do it in a way that it's not as labor intensive. It is labor intensive, I can already tell. But I'm sure instead of using the rubber string or the elastic string that they use, I think you can use regular synthetic hair and get the same results. Or string. I think you can use string to attach it. There we go. And then I'll see how it took the shape. But of course, you're going to have something that's always going to be stubborn, but that's okay. It's just those three. Now I could either cut them and redo them, or just cut them out altogether and never worry about it. But you see how it takes shape? It's not all plastered flat. It breathes. It's got life to it. And it just looks like I snipped my braids off at the ends. which is what I did. But I sealed it at the same time so that it doesn't unravel. Okay, so these three should be ready. There we go. All right, it's done. I love it. And I hope you do too. I really did. Now I'm tempted to do a little something different. I don't want to get too crazy with it because I've gotten the bangs the way I need them. So they're good. I want to try doing a ringlet just with one piece, just to see what it looks like. Okay, and now I'm going to slowly unravel it. Nah, I think I needed to do it differently, take it out differently. But I see how it all falls into place. This is flat, the way I want it across the top. Let's see, one more time before we go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and hold it. I probably am rolling it wrong. I'm almost certain I am, because what I'm doing is giving it body, but it's not what I wanted. So I did it wrong. So I'm gonna curl it this way. Okay. So if this doesn't work, we'll try this another time. All right, now I want to take it out. It's not, let's see. It's probably going to be straight. All right. This might be the greatest thing to curl hair with. But like I say, we'll do that another time. All right, thank you all for being on my bang cutting journey. So, yeah, I like it. And then I could still flip it back after it's been in a while. But yeah, this is what I wanted, and this is what I got. Yep. Thanks a lot. See you next time.